My son wakes up every single morning and gets high.
Today on an all-new Dr. Phil, from varsity athlete and class president to this.
I want Dr. Phil to change their views on marijuana, the benefits.
Before the show, he went missing.
He says he's in Mexico and the cops pulled him over.
I don't need Dr. Phil.
Come here to the show, son.
What happens
You had a little trouble getting here.
when he finally shows?
Who pistol whipped you?
It was this random dude, bro. Came up, he pulled a pistol out. I'm not scared of that.
You realize you can get shot.
I was handling business, bro.
What's your business, bro? Today's going to be a changing day in your life. You've never had anybody working harder to bring you to the threshold of change than right now. When our team arrived to interview our guest, Crystal, she was in a panic because her 17-year-old son, Dominique, had run off with his grandmother's car, and, well, he was just missing. Take a look.
I don't want the whole world seeing my child and the hurt, you know, and the things that are going on with my child. I'm not one of those people who likes to have a lot of attention. All the things I've ever done in my life, I've always done them under wraps. Most people don't even know that I have a doctorate. Most people don't know that I have a sober living home. He's my baby, but I don't know what to do when I can't find him. And it's been going on 6 hours now, and I can't find him, and I can't force him to come home.
Well, Dominique kept my crew waiting all day. He told producers on 16 different occasions that he would be back soon after taking his grandmother Carla's car to get a haircut. Well, his family scoured the streets of his hometown to track down this young man.
He was supposed to go and get his hair cut. He left about at 8:40, and he was supposed to be back before you got here. I let him use my car.
I'm just concerned that something more has happened. You know, he was robbed just a couple days ago. I don't know what's going on. I've called him at least 20 times. I've texted him at least 10 times. I've driven to barbershops in the neighborhood trying to find my mom's car, and I haven't received anything, no response. So at this point, I'm just worried.
So no sign of him yet?
No sign of him yet. Doggone it. He doesn't have any problem at all with just wasting people's time.
It's almost 3 o'clock, and he's still not here.
Now we put the car stolen. I'm coming home right now. I'm trying to get your window fixed. You need to relax.
But you keep saying that, but you haven't... Oh. No, he didn't hang up on me.
It's been 5 hours of text messages, calls. I don't know where he's at. I'm exhausted. I'm frustrated. I'm defeated. I'm gonna have to literally drive up and down streets to see if I see my mom's truck. It is my worst nightmare.
We've been waiting for 11 hours for Dominique, and he still haven't made it here, and it's ridiculous. We're hoping and praying that he'll go see Dr. Phil, so he needs it.
I woke up at 4:30 this morning just to check on my guests and see if they were able to make their flight, but Dominique was still missing. He had not come home.
This is the second day in a row that Dominique has been ghosting us. We're parked outside of Dominique's grandparents' house. I'm gonna actually text him right now and see if he's still gonna get here at 7 p.m. How long are you willing to wait before you do call the police?
I'd give him till later on tonight. Hopefully he'll be home, like he said, so he can get on the plane and get going.
Michael told me that if Dominique does not come back to their house tonight, he's calling the police and reporting the car stolen.
Hey, Mama, I just gave the police was back, so we stay. I'm coming home right now. So I just gave them that, and they let me go. They gave me a warrant to cross the border, so I'm crossing right now.
Are you kidding me right now? How soon before you'll get to your grandma's?
Like 3 hours. Dr. Phil, I don't need Dr. Phil anymore.
You don't need Dr. Phil anymore. All right. Well, that's what we're here for, son, is to try to get you some help. We want you to come here to the show, son.
I'm trying to come. It's not my fault.
Where are you at right now?
I'm literally crossing the border.
As soon as you get there, can you call me?
All right, bro. I'll leave, bro.
He just said that he got pulled over by the Mexican police and that he gave them some money so that they will let him go.
At this point, you're going to fly out tomorrow morning.
We don't know. He hasn't been doing the normal things for 2 days.
I just want to get him here to get help, period.
Well, Crystal says Dominique used to be a varsity athlete, an honor roll student, until he fell in with the wrong crowd. And now it sounds like he is the wrong crowd. She wrote to me as her last chance to save her son before he turns 18, and that happens in just a couple of weeks. And get this, Crystal runs a sober living house. So she knows the drill, she knows what it takes, and yet she can't seem to practice the tough love necessary with her own son. Is that unusual? No, it's not unusual. It's different when it's your own family.
My 17-year-old son, Dominique, is lost. My son wakes up every single morning and gets high and stays high all day long. It has changed his life. If he does not have marijuana, he uses the vape as a substitute. My son tells me all the time, Mom, I'm a pothead, get used to it. As far as I know, he's small-time dealing marijuana. My son was an amazing kid growing up. I raised him in the church. He has a beautiful singing voice. His grades, principals list, 8th grade class president, an amazing basketball player. He's been blessed with so many talents. He's squandering them away.
When he was young, he thought weed was dumb, and now he can't live without it.
He dropped out of high school his junior year. My son would talk back. He would be very nasty. Bro, I'm not taking the trash out. He was so confrontational. I have younger children at the house as well, and it was just a horrible influence. 8 months ago, I had to have him move with my mom because it was just too much.
Dominique's confused and manipulative. He talks back, he's rude. You tell him not to go somewhere, he does just the opposite. He breaks every rule that you put down. He just pushes your button.
My son is hanging around with dangerous people. A couple of days ago, my son was robbed and pistol whipped. He had a gash right above his eyebrow, blood just pouring out of his face. My feeling is that it was probably a drug deal that went wrong. I am extremely worried about my son being killed on these streets.
If Dominique doesn't turn his life around, then he's gonna end up dead or in prison.
I don't want to see my son dead.
Okay, it's good to meet you guys. You're very concerned, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Pretty much from the time he wakes up until the time he crashes, he's high.
Exactly. We don't know what to do with him.
Now, we had trouble getting him here.
Yes,
and I want to talk about how you guys reacted to that. Saturday, November 9th, the crew is set to film with him. 8:30 a.m., Dominic says he went to get a haircut. Says broke grandma's truck window and went to fix it. You say called 20 times, texted him 10 times, 2:30, 3:30. He calls you and then he hangs up on you.
Yes,
Then he tells the producers 16 different times, I'm coming, I'll be there, I'll be there. Never shows. Okay, then Sunday the 10th, he's scheduled to be on a flight to LA. Misses the flight. 7 p.m., you get a call from Dominic. He says he's in Mexico and the cops have pulled him over. But what I want you to listen to is the reaction that you have, the tone with which you engage. Let's listen.
Hey, Mama, I just gave the police a stack, so we stay. I'm coming home right now. So I just gave them that, and they let me go. They gave me a warrant to cross the border, so I'm crossing right now.
Are you kidding me right now? How soon before you'll get to your grandma's?
Like 3 hours. Dr. Phil, I don't need Dr. Phil anymore.
You don't need Dr. Phil anymore. All right. Well, that's what we're here for, son, is to try to get you some help. We want you to come here to the show, son.
I'm trying to come, it's not my fault.
Where are you at right now?
I'm literally crossing the border.
As soon as you get there, can you call me?
All right, bro. I'll leave, bro.
I just feel like at that point, my objective was to get him here.
But there's a point at which you need to say, you need to man up and do what you say you're going to do. Coming up, Crystal's son Dominic says he smokes roughly all day and says he has no plans to stop. We're going to meet him and talk about that next.
Whenever I'm feeling bad, just roll up a blunt. Woo! One hit, like I'm already feeling that.
We were having trouble tracking you down for 3 days. What was happening with you?
I had to handle business. I had to make this a little extra bread. That's all you need to know, bro.
And later, who pistol whipped you?
It was this dude, random dude, bro. Came up, he pulled a pistol out. I'm not scared of that.
Did you realize you can get shot?
Yeah, and die.
Friday.
An unbelievable tale of lies and foul play.
A father's murder.
His then-wife murdered him. Then she tricked everyone into believing he was still alive.
A wife's deception.
My son was receiving emails that he thought were coming from his father.
A son's guilt.
I'm not sure if I could have stopped it, but at least I could have tried.
Grief is not a mental illness. To get your head up and realize there's work left to be done here.
Friday. Then on Monday, if her husband doesn't address his OCD.
He can't shower, he can't brush his teeth.
You say he doesn't have time. He has no job, he has no responsibility, but he has no time to take a shower.
That's Monday.
I have a sober living home where we help women with children who are suffering from substance abuse issues. It's been really hard to figure out exactly what to do with my son in this situation. I've taken away his car twice already. So I've tried to discipline him, but I do feel that at times I think I enable him. I see the pain that comes from substance abuse, so I feel like I can't turn my back on him. To be honest, I'm so scared to let my son hit rock bottom.
Do you know if he's purchased weed since he got here?
Yes.
And when?
Last night.
Where'd you get the money?
From me. I'll tell you exactly what happened. He has...
Okay, now, hold on.
Oh.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Because you were getting ready to give me a 4th of July speech. No. You gave an addict money last night. Okay. Now, what were you going to say?
He has been handled by a transporter since he's been here. And they had contacted me and said that he was sick.
Transporter did not tell you to give him money for weed. Don't tell me he did, or I'll have him come out here and he'll tell you straight up he damn sure didn't, because I've known him for years and he did not.
I never said that he said to buy him weed.
Do not imply that he did.
I wasn't implying that he said that.
Okay, I just want to be clear.
Yeah.
When we arrived at Dominic's parents' house with a transporter, we found him in his bedroom getting ready to smoke some more dope and bragging about his exploits. Take a look.
I use every morning, bro. Yeah, bro, help me with my anxiety. Whenever I'm feeling bad, just roll up a blunt. These mini bags right here, they hold grams, you feel me? You just load a gram in there and they sell it for $10, boom.
How much can you make it at that?
Off of weed, like $300 to $400, bro. Hell yeah, quick as hell, off of just weed. I'm just getting the matches out the car. I'm smoking in the car like a...
Whose car is that?
It's my grandma's shit.
She doesn't mind.
And she picked me up and I'll be blowing in the car. One hit, like I'm already feeling that.
You got a baby out here.
Hell yeah. You need diapers as we speak right now.
So are you doing your part? Are you trying to help?
Hell yeah. I'm trying, bro.
We were having trouble tracking you down for 3 days. What was happening with you?
Y'all just got me on a bad weekend. One of the most busiest weekends, the most important weekends. I had to handle business. I had to make this a little extra bread. That's all you need to know, bro. Pistol with me, bro. If I had my gun, I would have just aired the whole out, but I have my gun. Dr. Phil need to talk to my grandma about letting me smoke in the garage. I want Dr. Phil to change their views on marijuana, how it's used, the effects, the benefits. everything, bro. So basically what I got is this pill, bro. And I got a lot of these, bro. All right? And, you know, I'm gonna just take it out the bag. The Mexicans got it for me, bro. They got me about 1,000 of these, bro. You hear me? Bro, I got stopped by 2 border patrols. Car smell like weed, bro. Everything, bro. All the pills was in my hoodie.
Dominique, ready to go? Yeah. All right, let's hit it. Come on. Yes, sir, of course.
Okay, well, you had a little trouble getting here.
Yeah.
What was the problem?
I was handling business, bro.
Well, what's your business, bro?
I sell drugs.
You sell drugs?
Hell yeah.
On a big day, what kind of business do you do? How much money can you make on a really big day?
On a good day, from weed or just like?
All of it.
Damn, you can make $500 to $1,000 a day, bro. Easily.
Yeah. And you do that on a fairly regular basis, bro. Right?
Yeah.
Your customers are just on the street, just people that you know.
Well, yeah, usually I don't say to nobody I don't know, you feel me?
It could be people that are your age that you run with, or it could be people that they know, or their big brothers or whatever. So, I mean, just people that are in your circle, though.
Yeah.
And where do you get your supply?
Well, just from, you feel me, some people that's close to me.
You said you were just in Mexico. You got pills in Mexico?
Yeah, I got all types of bro.
But you got it from Mexico?
Yeah, but I ain't even finna speak too much on that, you feel me?
Yeah, well, you had it in your hoodie, you said.
Yeah, it was in my hoodie, though.
They didn't check your hoodie when you
Nah, they let me get out the car, and then they put me in a room, and while they searching out the car, everything is in my hoodie.
Yeah. All right, we're going to take a break. Coming up, Dominic told something to our transporter that was very revealing. In addition to what he's been revealing so far. We're going to find out what that is next, and I have some questions for his mother. We'll be right back.
When I was younger, bro, I used to be under my cover shaking, just anxious, bro. Like, just naturally.
Did something happen to you?
There was a lot of things that happened.
Did you tell anybody about it?
I told them, but I won't tell them who it was.
And later,
I want Dr. Phil to change their views on marijuana. Just because I'm coughing.
Do you think that marijuana has a negative effect?
In the state of Arizona, smoking marijuana as well as selling marijuana is illegal. I am unwilling to call the police on my child. This isn't a fair world. And me, in my culture, and me being an African-American woman, having an African-American son, I would never call the police because I'm already scared to death of him just driving while being a black boy. But on the other hand, with the decisions he's making, he just might put his own self in the system. But as a mother, I can't carry that.
Who pistol whipped you? I don't mean names or anything. Just, was it somebody you're doing business with, or?
It was this dude, random dude, bro. The dude comes up to me and he asks me, "Do you have an 8th?" So that's when, after that, I said yes. He talking about, come over here to my sister's car, you feel me? She parked right here, da-da-da-da-da. She got the money, whatever. Walk to the car, nobody saying nothing. I'm just standing there with my backpack on. A dude was creeping from the side, feel me? Came up, he pulled a pistol out. I'm not scared of that. He talking about some, give me everything, all that. I slapped the gun, then pistol in my eye. They started trying to jump me, took the bag. Police came.
You weren't afraid of the gun?
Yeah, I'm not scared of no gun.
You know they kill you, right?
Yeah. I done used them before. But I'm saying, like, I'm not scared of them at all, bro.
Yeah. But you realize you can get shot?
Yeah, and die.
Yeah.
And die.
And why doesn't that bother you?
You're not finna feel nothing no more, bro.
You probably don't feel much now, do you? You stay high all the time.
Yeah, and then when I'm high, I don't really feel nothing.
Why do you think you smoke marijuana so much?
It helps me with my anxiety and depression. And when I was younger, bro, I used to be under my cover shaking, bro, for no reason, not knowing why I'm shaking, feeling weird feeling. I used to tell my mom, my stomach hurts, my stomach hurts. She used to sit up here and get hella overwhelmed for no reason because she don't know what's wrong with me. You know that, when I was younger. Yeah, she used to say, my stomach, my insides hurt. Like, I used to, like, describe, like, my insides hurting. You feel me? All inside. And I used to be shaking, just like right now. If you can see my hands are shaking. But it's because I have really bad anxiety, like, in real life.
What were you anxious and depressed about when you were growing up?
Just anxious, bro. Like, just naturally.
Did something happen to you?
Yeah, and I done been through a lot of stuff, too, when I was younger. My parents argued hella, and there was a lot of things that happened, like, that I seen when I was younger with my parents, them being a young relationship.
So them fighting in front of you?
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever get caught up in the middle of it?
Hell yeah. A lot.
Did they ever get aggressive with you?
I mean, I used to get in trouble a lot, and they used to get aggressive with me a lot.
Physically?
So yeah. Whoopings, all that, bro. Yeah.
I'm sorry that happened.
Yeah.
That's too bad.
I don't care, bro.
I hate that for you.
Now, them used to just whoop me. I don't care.
Yeah. And was there anything else that happened in your childhood that made you feel bad?
Yeah, bro.
Like what?
Actually, but I was touched when I was younger, bro.
By?
An older person.
Did you tell anybody about it?
I told them, but I won't tell them who it was.
You mentioned that he never told me who it was.
You never told me who it was.
Yeah.
And what'd you do when he told you?
I tried to talk to him. I tried to get him counseling. I took him to get therapy.
Yeah, counseling don't work for me.
He doesn't?
Weed is my counseling, bro. Marijuana doesn't have a negative effect on school.
So what grade are you in?
I'm a junior, but I don't go to school.
I truly believe my son is addicted to marijuana. And every time I say that, most people say, you can't get addicted to marijuana. But that is not true. Marijuana is not the way it used to be 20 years ago. The level of THC in marijuana nowadays has hallucinogenic properties. It has a very negative effect on my son. I am so concerned about his brain. I'm sure it's going to have some sort of long-term effect. It's scary.
Well, Crystal and her mother, Carla, are worried that Dominic's path of smoking and vaping marijuana, dealing drugs, could leave him dead or in jail. Dominic says he just wants his family to see the health benefits of marijuana.
I don't know why you're doing this. Like, I want Dr. Phil to change their views on marijuana, how it's used, the effects, the benefits, everything, bro. Like, just because I'm coughing, like, damn, this strong, bro. Like, yeah. Like,
looks very medicinal.
Right.
Yeah, I'm a cough.
Do you think that marijuana has a negative effect on you at all?
It has negative effects on everybody. All you got to do is look it up.
What kind of negative effects does marijuana have on you, the THC?
Like tiredness, maybe, I guess, and maybe the lung effects.
So what grade are you in?
I'm a junior, but I don't go to school. But the reason why I don't go to school is not because of marijuana.
Yeah.
The reason why I don't go to school is because I was in classes that was way too hard.
So it doesn't have a negative effect on school, but you're not in school.
Yeah, and it doesn't have a negative effect on school. Marijuana doesn't have a negative effect on school.
I want to introduce somebody to join this conversation right now. This is Dr. Hans Breiter. He is a psychiatrist at Northwestern Medicine in Chicago. He's the director of the Northwestern Medicine Warren Wright Adolescent Center. He was co-senior author of a groundbreaking study in contingency with Harvard that linked casual use of marijuana, not heavy use, just casual use of marijuana, to major brain changes. And he joins us now via Skype. Dr. Breiter, it's my honor to meet you, sir.
Pleasure to meet you, sir.
Well, Dr. Breiter, what he's saying is just simply not true, correct? I mean, he's saying it doesn't have an effect on his motivation, doesn't have an effect on his mental agility, capabilities, doesn't affect school performance.
forget this? Why do I regret this? In my mind reckless, thoughts are feeling endless. Sitting up, I'm breathless, anxiety's infectious. I feel so defenseless, betrayed and embarrassed. I hate being open, I hate being broken. I feel like an ocean filled up with emotion. Anger ain't a potion, rub it on like lotion. I can feel it soaking, reopen, the scars have awoken. I can't move on till I let go. I feel so lost, never at home. Need to be strong, every breath hold. Cause I can't move on till I let go. I can't move on till I let go. I feel so lost, never at home. Need to be strong, every breath hold. Cause I can't move on till I let go. The pain makes it real. I don't wanna feel, I just wanna kill. The bad thoughts are still a good thought and feel. I'm just lost, I feel, I'm just lost to feel. I need time to heal, I can't steer the wheel. Cause this drive it kills, and it gives me chills. A nice road it feels, I slip off the peel and crash all the steel. Will I ever heal? I can't move on till I let go. I feel so lost, never at home. Need to be strong, every breath hold. Cause I can't move on till I let go. I can't move on till I let go. I feel so lost, never at home. Need to be strong, every breath hold. Cause I can't move on till I let go.
You're absolutely right, Dr. Phil. I mean, marijuana, if you were to design any compound to affect an academic capabilities, athletic capabilities, I would design THC. I don't know why people persist in thinking it's good for the brain, why it's good for your capabilities, your motivation, your working memory. The scientific data is irrefutable at this point.
My position has long been with young people because brains don't finish growing until at least 25, and I think it actually goes beyond there, that when young people are smoking marijuana, that it can have a profound and deleterious effect on them neurologically, motivationally, and intellectually. What say you?
Completely concur with you. I mean, it's one of these very interesting societal experiments we're running on ourselves. Those of us who do addiction research or are in psychology like yourself, have seen these effects for a long time, and the scientific data is finally catching up to what people have been seeing clinically. But if I were to design any compound to damage the developing brain, it would be THC.
Right. And I think one of the things people don't realize is that the THC that was out there when you and I were in our teen years and the THC that's available now are very different. It's much more potent now than it was then.
Without question.
And when we talk about kids smoking dope today, what are the negative effects that you see clinically?
So we see a number of effects. When you think about normal cognition, cannabis has a large number of compounds in it. Only one of them has been seriously studied, namely THC and some of its metabolites. Some of its metabolites are psychoactive, so you can actually see them in the context of your immediate experience. Others are what we may call neuroactive in the context that they have effects on the brain that then have longer-term effects on your performance with working memory and things of that sort. In terms of normal cognition, and I mean cognition having to do with how you think and how you feel, cannabis, and THC in particular, affects the reward system of the brain, which is at the core of your agency, what makes you you, gives you your sense of free will, your sense of an ability to make judgments and decisions and to run your life and to be the owner of your life. It also affects working memory, and working memory can be thought about as, in a sense, the backbone of your mind. Working memory allows us to speak like we're doing now. Working memory allows us to think and make logical decisions, to plan into the future, to think about what we're going to do the next day, to think about our societal obligations and our familiar interactions. As it turns out, longitudinal studies where people looked at how working memory and IQ worked, and there was about an 8-point decrease in IQ in at least one study. Cannabis is not a good compound in the developing brain. We see increased suicidality. There was a 7-fold increase in suicidality, actual suicide attempts. We see an increase in psychosis. We see an increase in anxiety, increase in depression. People claim it's helpful for PTSD, but again, another Veterans Administration study showed that there's an increase in PTSD symptoms when you actually use cannabis. Cannabis is often a compound that is a companion drug to other drugs that are used. So across the board with regard to mental health, it's very hard to make the case that in the developing brain, adolescents from age 12 to 26, that cannabis is a positive thing from the mental health angle or from the normative cognition angle. And keep in mind, when we talk about Dominic, the family talks about the fact that, a number of things changed. His school performance went down. He seemed to have less motivation. When we talk about school performance going down, this is a direct effect of working memory. When we talk about motivation, this is a direct effect of agency and affecting the reward system.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, a young woman wants to warn Dominic about how vaping landed her in the ICU, and then I've got some hard questions for Mom here.
I was vaping every day, every hour. They found out my lungs were collapsing. They put me on oxygen and life support. I was on the ventilator for 3 days. I thought that I was going to die.
We're going to begin with America's vaping crisis.
The number of lung injuries and deaths related to the use of e-cigarettes is on the rise locally and nationally. That's why they're asking everyone to stop vaping until they can figure out what's causing all of this.
Those patients who survive and recover in the short term may have long-term consequences from this.
Well, Reese says she's lucky to not be a vaping death statistic after her experience left her on life support.
I started vaping when I was 18 for nicotine reasons, and then after that was the THC cartridges. I thought it was a safer alternative to smoking cigarettes. I was smoking every day, every hour. About 3 months ago, I developed flu-like symptoms. I was throwing up. And that's where they found fluid in my lungs and diagnosed me with pneumonia. I was hospitalized and treated with antibiotics, which were actually making me sicker. And they found out my lungs were collapsing. They put me on oxygen and life support. I was on the ventilator for 3 days. I thought that I was going to die. I was diagnosed with hypersensitivity pneumonitis, which is a lung disease where your lungs become inflamed when you inhale dust, chemicals, any kind of smoke. My lungs collapsed because of the vaping. The doctors found out that it was a chemical that wasn't supposed to be inhaled that was being put in these cartridges called vitamin E. I was in the hospital 9 days total. I will have lifelong issues from this. I will have to see a pulmonologist for the rest of my life. This is called a spirometer. It's what I use to strengthen my lungs. I inhale. I nearly died from vaping.
Well, joining us in the audience is Reese and Susie. Reese, you saw no issues with doing this whatsoever, right?
Oh, absolutely. Even if the signs aren't outwardly, they are happening internally. I wouldn't wish that on anyone.
It was you, right? It was you who went?
Yeah.
So who was you buying cartridges from?
From a friend.
You actually wound up in the hospital with some bad weed,
Yeah,
correct?
hell yeah. And I learned my lesson.
Both of you have been in the hospital.
Yeah.
And you were on a ventilator for how many days?
3 days.
There's no negative things in it if you're getting it from the dispensary. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
You're selling it and you're not a dispensary.
No, of course, but I'm saying I wouldn't smoke nothing. I'm saying now that I know that, I wouldn't smoke nothing that
you
I
sell?
get from somebody else, bro.
You wouldn't smoke what you sell?
No.
Oh.
But
wow.
Susie, how scary is it to see your daughter?
Just seeing those pictures, you know, of Reese in the ICU, she was paralyzed. They gave her a drug that paralyzed her and her hands had to be tied down. You know, just seeing her like that was just heartbreaking. I feel so bad for your mom, sir. I really do. Your mom is fighting for you. Dr. Phil is fighting for you. Everybody here, your grandma, Reese and I, other people, all these staff, you know, are doing this just for you. Hold on, I'm not quite finished yet. And people, you know, and I get it, you know, there's nothing that I can say that's going to convince you otherwise, but just seeing Reese almost dying in the hospital was so hard on our whole family.
Y'all buying dank vape for $50.
You're not here to give advice, trust me. We'll be right back. Well, I'm back with Crystal and her son, Dominic. Carla, grandmother, is here. Reese, thank you so much for this cautionary tale. Susie, I'm sorry you had to see what you did when she was in that situation. I have a question for you. It's really one question. Your mother has asked for my advice, and my advice to her is that she arrange for and precipitate you going into a very serious dual diagnosis treatment program to help you get off of this dependency you have on marijuana and deal with some of the psychological issues that have been left unattended to throughout your life. And joining us is James McManus. He's the owner and founder of Family First, which is a residential treatment program that's really designed to help adolescents that are struggling with a range of emotional, substance, and processing disorders that we've been talking about neurologically. They also deal with gaming addictions, which is a really interesting resource. But James, we're talking here about substance and some of the comorbidity that goes along with it from some unresolved issues from him growing up. You could help this young man, correct?
Some of the things that he's just revealed here on stage, I think takes a ton of courage. And Dominique, I want to commend you for that. I think you're a brave young guy to even come out here. And we're here to help you, man. We can. And Dr. Phil has offered that to your family.
What do you think about what we're saying to you?
I'm not going, bro. I'm not going. I don't need to go. I don't want to be sober.
Okay. I predicted that. Here's the thing.
I'm going to go move in with my boys, bro. That's what I'm going to do.
Here's the thing.
Shout out my boys.
You're in a position where you can compel him to go. And my advice to you is that you do exactly that. If I were you, I would get the help. Are you prepared to do what you have to do? You can compel him to do this. And if he still resists that and doesn't want to do it, then I would tell you that it's time to let him go to jail. Because I have on videotape, he has admitted to international drug trafficking, drug dealing, drug using, driving under the influence, carrying drugs and gun across state lines and international borders. He's also dealing drugs to minors, which he's confessed to on tape, and I was very careful to ask him all of those questions. And he was very cooperative in confessing to 8 or 9 felonies here. If I were you, I would get the help. And if you don't get the help, then it's time for him to be accountable, and you know that. Are you prepared to do what you have to do? This is the moment. This is the threshold.
And this is what we're here for. So thank you. And yes, thank you so much.
All right. Well, Michael, I'm going to let you and James and this family go backstage, and you guys can talk back there.
Thank you.
I give a
Thank you so much.
I want to thank all of my guests today, and a special thanks to Dr. Hans Breiter for his insight. Marijuana is not just marijuana, as you have heard from one of the leading researchers in the country. Also, thanks to James McManus and Family First for offering these important resources, and thanks to Mike Montreal and Safe Interventions for transporting Dominic if the mother has the courage to make that happen. We'll see you next time.
So what they've decided is to send you to Family First, that program's in